When the night falls, when the shadows become dark and black, the silent pall of evil settles upon the earth. Who dares to search? Who dares to see what walks in the night? If you dare, welcome to the nightmare of the Grot Orloff Show. It's Sunday, August 21st, 2022. In the year of our Lord. We are talking about comic books as usual. And that's wonderful. So we're going to look at some Silver Age comics, and that's the way it is. August 21st, 2022. I think when we last left off, here's Drew the dog. When we last left off, it was a few days ago, and we were looking at amazing. I got a new bookshelf. Let me show you my new bookshelf. I got it for $5 at a garage sale yesterday, which allowed me to get a lot of books up into their proper place. See, we've got a see what I've been doing here. So, yes, this bookshelf here. All these books were put up into the shelf. So we got a library going here. All these shelves are filled with paperback novels. So that's part of the reality here. Yes, indeed. Let's turn off the library light because climate change is an existential threat to our democracy. It's too bad it's not a democracy, it's a republic, but oh well. We need to be concerned about things like climate change because they're just horrible. Right, Drew? Drew is very worried about climate change. And, okay. Climate change makes Drew vomit great copious amounts of, all right. Speaking of vomit, have you tried Up Water? It has electrolytes. It's just wonderful. Okay, so we were looking at comic books from the 1960s. DC and Marvel comics from that time period. Oh, those electrolytes are so wonderful. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I was at the Dollar General, and they have their Halloween stuff out. Unfortunately, it's a bunch of shit, but isn't that wonderful? It's Halloween time, Drew. Did you know that? Okay, so we were looking at the end of the Fantastic Four, as I recall. Let me see here. Yeah. I think I was showing you this and how happy I was to get this in the late 70s. This was purchased at Lone Star Comics in Arlington, Texas. I was so excited to be getting a Silver Age comic. And Anyway. And here's the king size special number 9. Yeah. I hope that's not copywritten music in the other room. I better be careful. Turn it down. All right. Don't want to anger the YouTube gods. So, all right, that brings us to Fantasy Masterpieces. Was a mid-60s comic that reprinted Golden Age Marvel Comics and 1950s monster stuff. But this would have given kids in the 60s a context for the history of some of the Marvel characters like Captain America and you can see it was because the okay, this one I believe was a gift from Graphic Man. Cool. And Fantasy Masterpieces number 6. Read this ad here. That was a very difficult model kit to build. The Spider-Man model kit, or at least to paint. It's very complicated, and you know, it's hard to get the black threads on Spider-Man's costume, and all the detail on Kraven the Hunter, and just very, very difficult. And then, and this issue shows you the original Human Torch and the Submariner, giving you history behind the Marvel universe that was the 60s Marvel universe that was just starting. Okay. Here's Fantasy Masterpieces number 10, reprinting All Winners number 19. And it looks like I've got multiple copies of this. Here's one with a big tape tear that someone did here. But it's the same issue, so I don't know if you need to see it 3 times. And then this one, man, you know, I think this one, my brother was stationed in Germany in the late 70s, and he sent me some German comic books, but he also sent me this. So this came all the way from Germany and back. It's not a German edition. It was either sold on a army base in Germany, and then he, you know, bought it used or whatever. Fantasy Masterpieces number 11. It has the origin of the Black Knight, which everybody was real excited. Remember, everyone was excited about the Black Knight about several years ago, and they were all wanting to get the first appearances of the Black Knight because he was going to be in this big movie called The Eternals, and it's like, oh wow, the speculators went crazy, and they aren't as excited anymore. This should not be in this box because I have moved all of these non-Marvel and DC to separate boxes, so I need to move this wonderful C.C. Beck creation, Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer. Of course, DC sued Captain Marvel was run out of business by DC in the 50s. Fawcett. So so he tries to create a new character. Didn't catch on. This is interesting on the back. This is a Lightning comic, and it's like the Now Comics group makes the scene with Captain Shazam. Cool. Boss, tough, fab. A turned-on super swinger. At your newsstand soon. Watch for this happening. What? Milson Publishing Company, 295 Madison Avenue. Okay. Captain Shazam. I don't think that ever happened, did it? I mean, it sounds like almost like he's trying to get some of his creation back. Oh, well. What a shame. Que lástima. C.C. Beck was very talented. Fat Man the Human Flying Saucer in Another Dimension. That was a huge hit. I traded with my friend Sammy Glass. I don't know what I traded him. I may have paid him. Probably just paid him because that sounds more likely. For this copy of Fear #3 in 1973, possibly 74. I'm thinking it was 73. Anyway, it was either 3rd or 4th grade that I traded for this. You know, it's Fear #3. And here's Fear #4. Later, this comic would become Adventures into Fear, and Man-Thing and Morbius would be in it. The day Flash weighed 1,000 pounds. And 150 Civil War soldiers. Today, kids don't even know what the Civil War was. They tell us in the news every night that America's about to have a new Civil War because they want that. Don't believe anything they tell you on the news. Anything. But yes. Just kidding. Oh, I'm using my line. Yeah, I'm trying to become hipper here on this channel. So, but it isn't but yes, it's so yeah. So that being said, having said that, let's build back better and look at the next issue of The Flash. God damn, man, this is just a wonderful time. There'll never be anything like this again. More than likely. All right. Fear. Flash. Here, Flash is wanted for treason. Earth enemy #1. Flash, how did you do it? Why? Now, I was telling you last episode that it was a little bit after this time period, but especially as the Flash went into the 15-cent era, the late 60s, early 70s, the Flash was dead on every single cover, or horribly wounded. Here he is dead. Or he's a traitor, or he's become an assassin, or something like that. They did it to all the heroes because it was just not cool to be a square hero in the Vietnam era, but they really gave it to the Flash, man. The Flash 173. Once there were 3 Flashes, then there were 2, then there were 1, finally there was none. Okay, another Flash obviously dying again. Here the Flash is being beaten up by hippies. Stamp out violence. We'd rather be hip than VIP. SOS, save our souls. Love conquers all. Make peace, not war. Ban the Flash, flower power. Bring their signs. We shall overcome. Yeah. So yes, the hippies are being violent. Shocking. Aurora HO scale model motoring, something my brothers were into, and I inherited the Aurora slot car set. I didn't inherit their comic books, though. Okay. Let's see what other horrible things will happen to the Flash. How are you guys doing on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? Isn't it just wonderful? It's just great. Flash 186. Oh, Flash is dead. Shocking. D-Day for the Flash. Doomsday Flash becomes a bodiless uniform. Deadly Day Flash ran away from himself. Diabolical Day Flash assumed a new identity. Disastrous Day Flash shrunken in size. Okay, what's going to happen in the next issue? I want you to predict. Is the Flash going to be reduced in size? Will he be dead and just be a uniform? Will he be a skeleton? Will he be turned into an old man? Will he turn into dust? What will happen on the next Flash cover? Oh, I see. Wait, but it says wrong. This is not the Flash. The Flash is this naked guy around the other side of the... Okay, so what's going to happen on the next Flash cover? What do you think? What is your prediction? It's we're into the 15-cent era. Look at this Hot Wheels ad. Yeah, and their last issue had a Hot Wheels ad too, by the way. Okay, so Flash dead. World mourns Scarlet Speedster, but it looks like he's not really dead. Perhaps he's just homeless, and they're assuming he's dead. Or maybe that's his dead body there. You'll have to pick it up to find out. Okay, so what kind of horrible fate? Oh, I think I just showed you. They wouldn't let me show what I did to the Flash. Do you dare read this issue and find out for yourself? Look, what did he do? It's so horrible they can't even show it to you. It's... Oh, the Flash is alive on the next cover. Wow. Oh, now I've got the proof you're the Flash, Barry Allen. Look, he's perfectly healthy. It's just his secret identity has been discovered. I always loved that his uniform springs out of a ring. I thought that was great. My God, I've just killed the most important man in America. Gosh darn. Special 200th issue. We're celebrating the 200th issue by turning the Flash into Lee Harvey Oswald. Although, oh well, he was a patsy, but I don't need to get into that. All right, this is a cool cover because it's a photo collage. He's pulling her out of the comic world into the real world. It's pretty cool. And Iris is telling the world that the Flash is her husband here. Yeah, the Flash was married, and that didn't happen to many superheroes. Then they had to kill her off, which was another stupid thing. All right. That's the end of that box. So yeah, let's build back better. Oh, I promised I'd open this a few episodes back, and I forgot. It's fancy salted mixed nuts. Bought this at Helen Gallagher's, which was like a Spencer's Gifts. The Forum 303 Mall in Arlington, Texas. Meyer Greenblatt was showing he has one of these too. He had it on his Instagram. SS Adams Company. It looks like it says Neptune, New Jersey. Okay, well, I bought this in the late 70s. He said he bought his in 1972. I haven't opened this jar of peanuts in several decades, so let's see if the peanuts are still delicious. God damn it. Yes. Oh, see, they make you think there's peanuts in here. There's a little container where there's still a few peanuts in here. But this coiled snake, I was wondering if it would still work. Sometimes but things were made well back then. So you tuck it back in, and then you screw the lid on to fool the next moron who might open it. It's called a gag gift. So, it'll get them every time, man. It's funny, man. It's funny as shit, man. Fuck those motherfuckers. Let them get scared, man. They want peanut, they're gonna get a fucking snake right in their eyeball, man. Fuck them motherfuckers. Anyway, I spent $1. I'm sorry. I spent $5. I spent $6. $6 human. And I understand that someone was saying Joe Biden signed something a couple months ago that we're going to digital currency in the middle of December, and that you won't be able to use cash, and we'll go to the Chinese credit rating, where they look at how you vote and whether you're a good person, whether or not they'll let you spend money, or whether you starve, which is basically the mark of the beast from the Bible. They claim that he signed some executive order a few months ago. I don't know. Is that true? Seems like somebody would be talking about that, but I don't know. Anyway, I actually had actual human green dollars, and I spent $6 at a garage sale. Can you believe it? I spent $5 on that bookcase that I showed you, which is constructed well, and I spent $1 on this colorful lawn chair here. What do you think of that? It's not amazing. It's a lawn chair. Astonishing, huh? So that's the way it is. Sunday, August 21st, in the year of our Lord. All right. More flash. You said it, Drew. This box is labeled Flash to Justice League. This is really stupid to do this, by the way, because things will change and you'll possibly get more comic books. So at one time, this House of Mystery to Marvel Collector's Item Classics. But that is no longer the case. So pretty soon I'll have to white it out or glue something over it. Why, it's the Flash. Good God, what am I doing here? Please, St. Jude, send me a miracle. Okay. Good God, why am I in a church? Okay. Gee, Flash. Can you be more blasphemous? Wait, why is this out of fucking order? What in the name of fucking heck? This is out of order. This is Flash 185. You can tell it's from an earlier, better time period. Okay, I don't even know why that's there. Here it looks to be 9.8 condition copy of Flash 157. Did you hear that CGC is now preferring coverless comics? They're giving them higher grades. I heard it on Comic Tom. Giant Flash Annual, 80 pages. See, look, he's perfectly trim and healthy on the cover here. But pretty soon they'd have to start killing him all the time or degrading him. Almost like they do with the heroes now and all the TV shows, you know, and the movies. Everybody's got to be, if they're a male, they've got to be degraded. You know, the Hulk has to be emasculated by his cousin, and Doctor Strange, you know, everybody that's male has to be shown that they're not as good. Okay. Flippity and Flop, number 7. Sorry, some damage there. Flippity and Flop, number 19. Flippity and Flop, number 24. Incredible, huh? The Forever People. Jack Kirby was a wonderful artist, and was super creative. I mean, he's he's just fantastic, but he really shouldn't have been doing his own writing. And in all honesty, Stan Lee did help him out a lot. Because look at the names he comes up for characters. Mark Moonrider, Big Bear, Viken the Black, Seraphan, Beautiful Dreamer. Oh, well, pretty cool background with a photo background there. Yeah, he was a genius, but a genius that needed a little help, a little boost. Here he is with another photo background cover, Forever People number 3. Here's Forever People number 9. Cool floating heads. Always love floating heads. It says, see the eerie return of Dead Man. Then we move to Fox and the Crow, number 47. Number 47, I told you before, is this magical number that appears in just about every TV show, movie that, you know. We actually finished Sandman last night. My wife and I, you know, we had to finish the show. I see the genius behind it. I see what the comic book was through, though I didn't read it. I can see how great it could have been, but the insistence on making it so, changing it so much to appeal to today's sensibilities, it really hurt it and made it ridiculous, you know. But yeah, the last episode, they just added an extra episode, a surprise extra episode with a cartoon cat story, and story about Sandman rescuing one of the muses from Greek mythology from evil testosterone-laden evil men. Um, let's see. One of those Handmaid's Tales, thing where they show how horrible men are to women. Fox and the Crow. Yeah, man. Weird mystery stories. Whenever I can find Fox and the Crow, I get it. A lot of times they're like horrible. This is like it's been toasted in a toaster. Um, it's it's it just gets some tears. But whenever I can get Fox and the Crow, I will. But it wasn't treated like most comics. This is the new Laugh Riot, Stanley and his Monster. So even if it has big chunks out of it, I'll buy Fox and the Crow because it's just like you gotta get Fox and the Crow. Yeah, even if it looks like that. All right. Yeah. From Beyond the Unknown, number 5. Oh, this is a classic cover. From Beyond the Unknown, number 17. With the Richard Nixon cover. And then I've got I wouldn't even call this a reader copy because it's in such shitty shape. But it's a copy. Here's the Ghost Rider 1. Now, later when the Ghost Rider that we know of as the Ghost Rider today started in the early 70s, around 72, the Ghost Rider with a flaming skull head. They changed this character's name to Knight Rider, I believe, when they reprinted his stories. And I think he later appeared in the Defenders or something. I don't know. That's Ghost Rider 4. Ghost Rider 7. This is their Marvel's attempt to try to cross over their superhero stuff with their Western comics. Here's Ghost number 2. Now, Ghost was a comic I dearly loved as a little kid, and this is my earliest copy of Ghost. This is about when, Aurora started making their ads a little more boring, although it's still amazing because it's Aurora, but their ads earlier on in the 60s were more spectacular. And you think, well, why, he only has one copy of Ghosts in there. Why, I thought he said he loved Ghosts. That's because most of the Ghost is in the Bronze Age, and I keep that in separate boxes. We're just looking at DC and Marvel up through the end of the Silver Age. And I may move all these war comics. I may separate them out. Yeah, this is what I mean. Look at this amazing Aurora ad from earlier in the 60s when they debuted see, you could make your own little brother. Big Frankie. #146 of Girls Love. Share the secrets of girls' love. Wonderful artwork in these romance comics. They are hard to find because they were not collected by boy collectors, and the girls that bought these did not save them and did not take them to comic stores in boxes to sell them later on to get money to take girls out on dates like guys did. So anyway, this is Green Lantern versus Popeye, and it's number 23. I think about 3, 4 months ago, someone was asking me to show Green Lantern comics, and I probably already did, but now, if I didn't, now you've got your chance to see them. And this one, I think this is some big key issue to those key issue type people. But I swear I can't read that number. 40, 42 possibly. See the black ink on the purple cover. It's a beautiful purple cover. It's just now. Look, someone on the back was very confused. It looks like they scratched out $250, and then they put good, and then it looks like they had $40. Looks like they had $100. I guarantee you, that is not my writing, and that is not. I did not pay any of those prices for this book. Oh, it's the secret origin of the Guardians. So yeah, this is probably a key issue. I better look it up on the Key Collector app. Another beautiful purple cover, 46. I can't believe they made a Green Lantern movie and they made it that shitty. I didn't even watch the movie. I heard it was so bad. This friend of mine from high school designed the look of that movie. Aaron Sims. He's a big Hollywood designer. He does pre-production art to design the look of movies. And I remember him being a great artist in high school. We had commercial art together at Arlington High School. I remember he did a beautiful airbrush painting for a poster. We had to make like a poster for a movie or for a record album, and Superman 2 had just come out, and so he did an airbrushed painting for his version of a movie poster for Superman 2. And it was airbrushed. I'd never seen anyone use an airbrush before. I knew that Richard Corbin used an airbrush, but I didn't really quite understand what an airbrush was, but I saw him using it. Anyway, Aaron Sims was one of these guys that kind of looks like the Sandman character with his hair all, 80s out, early MTV, he was a new wave kind of guy, and he also did the pre-production art for the Incredible Hulk, the Hulk movie that was actually part of this current Marvel that actually had Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. in it, and Thunderbolt Ross, but a different guy playing Hulk. And I like the movie, but Marvel's kind of orphaned that movie. They don't really accept it. Here's Green Lantern 65. But anyway, he designed the look of that, but that, the Hulk is already designed by Jack Kirby, but he may have been the one that ruined the Abomination in that movie. I mean, he's a great artist. I just don't like he kind of has an ugly look. I mean, his idea to make the Green Lantern's costume kind of this living thing, and like that. This book's in really shitty shape, as you can see here. Here's a book that I got, and it was like in the dollar bin, and I think they accidentally put it in the dollar bin, possibly. I don't know. It's 10-cent Gunsmoke Western. It seems like every comic company put out a Gunsmoke comic, and I always thought that was weird. Gunsmoke was a hit on the radio, and then later on television, and it's like, for some reason, just the word Gunsmoke wasn't, like, everybody put out a Gunsmoke publication. You would think there'd be some copyright in the name, but not sure how that all worked out. Hawk and the Dove, #1. Wow, it's #1 issue. Hawkman. Now we're talking. Where's the fucking... Damn. Hawkman number 3. Hawkman number 6. Back in the 1960s, gorillas used to have wings. That Dr. Fauci, it's his fault they don't have wings anymore. Hawkman number 7. Beautiful cover. Man, who is the artist on this cover? I love the stipple effect on the waves. You see that? The artwork reminds me of an artist that would come along about 10 years later named Ernie Chan. Ernie Chan. Same. It looks like his style, but it is not him. Facebook is notifying me that Billy Mooney just posted a photo on Facebook. Billy Mooney, Will Robinson on Lost in Space. That's weird. Facebook, or Meta, is trying to draw me in. Like, I care. Fuck Facebook. Zuckerberg. How strange. Number 10. If you see there's a price tag upside down there that says $3.75. That's probably what I paid for that. Okay, this is damn. Shit. Can't read that number. It's I think it says 13. I think so. Look at this couple watching down there. Something you see every Saturday night on Kensington Avenue, right? Weird shit. Oh, I got 2 copies of that. Cover that great. You gotta buy it twice, right? Hawkman 17. That's my idea of a weapon. Just hit people over the head with a skull. Murphy Anderson. Okay. That cover we saw was Murphy Anderson a little while ago, I'm pretty sure. I have a feeling that Ernie Chan was a fan of Murphy Anderson. I do believe so, because looking at Murphy Anderson's art, you can see the cool style that Ernie Chan would later have. Here's a purple cover, 21. Okay, so now we're moving on to House of Mystery, number 88. House of Mystery number 148. $151. It's $159 when Dial H for Hero debuted. That was one of my brother Mike's favorite things. He told me he was real proud that he had the whole run of Dial H for Hero. And I looked in the comic book price guide and I couldn't find Dial H for Hero. But it turned out it was a feature in House of Mystery. And said he had every one of them. Of course, he didn't have them anymore because at some point in one of our many moves, my dad was in the military, they must have all gotten tossed. But there's 161, another purple cover. So anyway, there in the late 70s, I tried to buy as many Dial H for Heroes as I could at Lone Star Comics to try to rebuild my legacy. The comics that should have been handed down to me from my older brother, but weren't. So I can kind of feel like these are my older brother's copies. But And I showed my brother a few of them. It's like, look at this, remember this? And he says, oh yeah. But I haven't heard from him in a few years. Speaking of Dr. Fauci here. I think he's a real estate guy now. Here's 173. And then House of Mystery changed by 187, and it becomes an EC style horror comic. Now when Kane, the host of the House of Mystery, appeared in the Sandman TV show with his brother Abel, and they had two separate houses, House of Mystery and House of Secrets. I'm just wondering what normal people watching Sandman thought. Like who is this guy? I mean, he appears in one scene and then basically never really seen, maybe one other scene in the whole series. I don't know. Normal people are strange, man. Anyway, Cain and Abel are in that Sandman TV show, although they look like they've been cast to be middle kind of. They look very Middle Eastern, I guess. And I guess, I don't know if they've retconned them as being the Cain and Abel from the Bible. They were always not supposed to be that. But if they have done that, maybe that's why they chose that casting. But I don't know. Here's Hulk 105. I was going to send this out to CGC. I really like the work that the previous owner did to improve the comic, because it looks like the Hulk has torn a big chunk off the cover. So it really does improve the appearance, the aesthetic of the cover there. Incredible Hulk 117. How about that? 120. I love this cover. Here's 121. This homeless guy repainted this cover, and I bought that canvas from him. You may remember that. Maybe I should go show you that here in a moment. Looks like I've got 3 copies of this Herb Trimpe cover, which I always thought it was Herb Trimp, but I've heard enough people now pronounce it Herb Trimpe that I know it's Herb Trimpe. Another great cover. And here's another copy of the same issue, 133. 135, weighed down by the weight of 1971. Man, I feel like that's what 2022 is doing to me. Every morning I wake up, all I want to do is figure out what's going on in the news. What horrible new things are happening. I think good things are about to happen, but I think we're going to have to go through some horrifying stuff over the next few months, and then things are going to start getting better. That is my... I don't know. I'm probably wrong. It's probably just never going to get better. But, you got to have some hope, right? The movies, the good guy always wins at the end, right? The bad guys can't keep doing this shit to us, can they? 142. Valkyrie is back. Every male chauvinist pig in the world will tremble when he sees the Hulk hurled to his death by a woman. No one uses male chauvinist pig anymore. Last episode I was talking about Andrew Tate, the guy that's all over YouTube and everything. He's some champion kickboxer that is now lives in Transylvania, and he is a he has this Hustlers University, and it's like you pay him $50 a month, and he teaches you how to be a man, because all the kids have been turned into pussies by TikTok, which is a Chinese app designed to make people pussies so they can conquer us. And anyway, so masculinity is now, it's toxic. So your kids are taught, their boys are taught to not be male, and it's better if they just change their sex before they even reach puberty. So he schools kids and teenagers, whatever, on how to be a man, and how to get women, and how to have sports cars and all, and be rich and everything. So anyway, he's kind of amusing, and he's become this big hit lately, kind of like was it the Tiger King, or who was that guy in the early days of the pandemic? Remember when all of a sudden this guy was the biggest thing on, everyone was watching his reality show. I think it was the Tiger King. Anyway, Andrew Tate everyone's talking about Andrew Tate now. Well, right after I finished my last episode, I turn on and see that Andrew Tate has been banned from Facebook, Instagram, and they're about to take him off TikTok. He's still on YouTube, but yeah, they're having to make sure he's too dangerous. So anyway, okay, all right. I came in here for a reason. Okay, I'm going to finalize this DVD. I'm starting to make the living area look a little bit better. You might remember how much stuff I had here, and now I just have this small pile that I'm processing. And I have the Christmas tree up because, it's almost Christmas. Oh, I'm taking you downstairs to show you the painting I bought of the glob. And let's see. Well, let's do that. I thought I turned this light off. I made a big joke about climate change, and I turned that light off, and now it's still on. I think some ghost probably turned it back on. Some evil person that doesn't believe in climate change. These ghosts don't care about climate change, man. What's wrong with them? All right. We haven't been down here in the basement in a while. This is, I gotta straighten these pictures. These are all the people that have visited here in Mount Gratu, Georgia. Ken Osmond. There's Carolyn Jones, John Aston, Anne Margaret, Martina Beswick, Betty Page, Dita Von Teese, Lily Von Seer, yes, Frank Gorshin, yes. So let's head on down. There's Donald Trump, when he came to visit, gave me that picture. All right. So this is I don't know what I'm gonna do with this room. We started stocking up on survival. We got water for whatever disaster the Democrats are gonna throw at us. We've got water, now we gotta stock up on food. So this is there's Pete the cat. How you doing, Pete the cat? This is the arcade. Still a work in progress. Anyway, we had a mission coming down here. This inflatable bed is now a hit with the cats because they are relaxing here all the time. And here's the reason we came down here, ladies and gentlemen. This painting done by a homeless gentleman that lived in his car, Hulk versus Glob. Just thought you'd love to see that. Well, anyway. This is, someday I will have everything fixed up down here, but right now, this is the state of affairs. Got a bunch of superhero DVDs here. And this room's just got a bunch of stacked up books because I'm waiting to get more bookcases. All right. You've seen enough of that. No persons under 21 admitted. The cats would probably like some treats while I'm down here. We're still unpacking all this kitchen stuff. They're wanting treats. We'll leave them to their culinary pleasure and delights. Okay. What were we looking at? I don't even remember. We were looking at Flash, and then all right. Oh, we were looking at the Hulk. That's right. Shit. All right. Here's a king-size special. Just shit, fuck, piss. She almost stole my hand. True. This was a childhood toy of hers. I let her play with it when she was but a puppy, but I don't want her to destroy it now that it's a big part of the television program. Hulk. Yes. All right. That brings us to the Inferior Five, of course. which I don't have Inferior 5 number 1, I'm ashamed to say, but I have Inferior 5 number 2. Marvel had Not Brand Ech, and DC had the Inferior 5. Here they're doing a parody of Marvel's Thor. Not Brand Ech was the superior comic of the two. See here, they're taking on DC's superheroes. How about that? Looks like I have 2 copies of that issue. Inferior 5, number 7. Oh, this is the one where Marvel heroes appear on the cover. Inferior 5, number 10. So you've got Thing and Mr. Fantastic. It's interesting. You can tell he had a 4 on his chest. Like there's a little, you can tell where something's been removed. It may not have been a 4, but there was a circle. They must have thought that we're pushing it too far. Take the 4 off the chest. Spider-Man, the Human Torch, and I thought the Hulk was on the cover too. I guess they didn't take it that far. They're saying, "Awkward man, you knocked out the wrong guys. Those are our friends." That's funny. They all look like aliens to me. Don't worry, I have a hunch we're gonna win anyway. I guess Superman's shown up. Anyway. Yeah. How about that? That climate change. What do you think of that, man? It's an existential threat to our democracy. Yeah, see, they're inside the comic too. Yeah. This is probably, oh, they're the kooky quartet. And Spider-Man is the cobweb kid. And there's the sub-moron. I kind of like sub-moron. How about that? Yeah, only appearance of Spider-Man in a DC comic until years later when he met Superman and all that shit. And probably the Fantastic Four's only appearance in the DC comic that I'm aware of. How about that? Well, here's the Invincible Iron Man number 4 in wonderful condition. Look at these great little improvements to the comic. It's Iron Man number 4. This is probably Iron Man was in Tales of Suspense was Captain America and Iron Man, right? And Tales to Astonish was Hulk and Submariner. Strange Tales was Nick Fury and Doctor Strange, Nick Fury after the Human Torch. So someone wrote 76 on this, or possibly, so that's probably Tales of Suspense 76. So I really should have this filed under T, probably. And this is another coverless one, but this one is Iron Man, and it's February 69, number 10. This is number 10. Another mint condition comic from the Gratu Orloff collection. I really do have a very piss poor collection of Silver Age comics. For, some of you are saying, well, that's really great. Well, for someone my age, I really should have a better collection. This is number 11 of Silver Age. It's just I didn't. It's a combination of not having enough money and not being focused on only collecting comic books. But if I'd only collected comic books, then I wouldn't be the person I am, because I also collected music and movie posters, and I wish I had more. I wish I could trade with some of you guys if you've got multiple copies or buy stuff from you. I would certainly love to do that, but it's 42. Here's a king size special 1. Oh, I love that art. It's got a problem there. Who does this art, man? Is it Bill Everett or is it Marie Severin? You guys already know, and you're laughing at me. I've got 2 copies, and then looks like I've got a 3rd copy. How about that? Queen of the Teens, Genie, number 13. The cover makes you think it's like in 3D or something, or your eyes are going funny on you because it's off register. If you look at it, nothing lines up. I don't know if you can see that on your high definition TV. All right, we're moving on to Justice League of America. Earliest copy I have is that a 10 or an 18? Neither. It's a 16. I wish I had better earlier stuff to show you, but here's 23. Um, 29. Oh, cool. It's got a date stamp on it. June 20-something, 1964. Summer 64. And see, this was something that was done every summer throughout the 60s and into the 70s, which was the annual summer team-up between the Justice League and the Justice Society. Crisis on Earth 3. The Crisis on Infinite Earths drew all that to an end, the wonderful summer tradition, and for that reason, that was one of the things I loved. Things just weren't as interesting when they did that. I didn't like it. I loved the artwork. The writing was great in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I just did not like them destroying They destroyed my childhood. No, but seriously, they made it less fun for me. This is number 30, but I guess I didn't really matter. This has got a fold in the center, so it might have been a subscription copy or just some kid folded it to hide it in his notebook at school. Here's 33. All right, wonderful. Well, that's it for that box. So let's get this back upstairs and get the next box. don't you come with me? If anyone wants to come and visit, I'm starting to get this house to be in the condition where people can come and visit. And if anyone wants to retire and move here, maybe we could open a store together. That would be cool. Okay. What's next? So that's oh, here we go. Okay. Well, this feels like it hardly has anything in it, man. Pain in the ass. I need to grab 2 boxes because this hardly has anything in it. That's M. Metal men to plastic men. Yeah, plastic men. What? Oh, okay. I'll do it, bro. Oh no, that won't. No, I'll fuck with that, Drew. Oh shit. I'm trying to take 2 short boxes down the stairs instead of using the elevator. This is not smart. All right, I made it without taking a spill. Okay. Shit. So how are you guys? Fuck. How are you guys doing this wonderful Sunday afternoon? It's wonderful, isn't it? Gosh. Gee willikers, you guys in the comics community. Isn't life wonderful in Joe Biden's America? It's so great that he won in the most honest election in human history. And you know, those gas prices are really falling. They go up $2 and then they go down 50 cents and they say, gee, look, you've got an extra $100 per month to spend. Aren't you happy? Okay. But we don't talk about politics here. Justice League of America number 34. Always call it Justice League of America because notice that they just want to call it Justice League now. Isn't that what the movie's called? Yeah, it is, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? They want to get rid of that America part. And this forward thing, it's getting ridiculous. I'm telling you, the word forward is a communist slogan. It always has been. Obama brought the word in and started using it. And there's a mandate now to the networks to use that word as much as possible so that people will start using it in common speech. Because when you hear things, then you start saying them. Like everyone's saying, having said that, that being said, I noticed these things. And everyone's saying it. And everyone's going, but yeah, because we hear it on television and we start doing it. And this forward thing, there was a commercial. I listened to see who was the commercial sponsor. It was Staples, the store that sells office supplies. They use moving forward and forward as you move forward to to the new school year or whatever. Several times in one commercial. This I don't watch network TV, but if I did, I'm sure it would be in every episode. We watch this Big Brother show about 5-6 times in every episode. Moving forward, I will do this. Moving forward, it's always forward, and it's propaganda, and you're being hit with it, and you don't realize it. It's like invisible rays in the air. They're programming you. So be careful of that word forward. And when they talk about democracy, because the country is a republic and has always been a republic. And so people that call it a democracy are not the good guys. All right, it's another wonderful summer. Justice League 38, floating heads on one side of the Justice League, on the other side of the Justice Society. I'm sorry, the Justice League of America and the Justice Society of America. Or in this case, of Earth 2, Earth A. It's a subscription copy, I guess. Damn, that's wonderful. Here is 43. This box is only half full, so I could really use some more comics in this part of the alphabet of the Silver Age. If you've got extra copies of Justice League comics, give me a list and I'll buy them from you, or I'll trade some shit. Wonderful stuff to you for them. 48, 80-page giant. Batman is front and center, as the TV show is the biggest thing in the world at that time. Yeah, the Justice League covers are very Batman-centric because of the Adam West TV show. Here's 51. Again, you might just think if I cut it off the cover, you'd think it's a Batman comic with a couple of guest stars, but it's Batman. It's Justice League of America. Wait, why do I have another copy of this out of order? What the fucking hell? Oh, no. I got mixed up. This cover and this cover. They're so different. Okay, so 51, 54. Here's 55. Will a grown-up Robin win, whereas fellow Justice Society members are losing? So Robin grows up and on our Earth, he grows up and becomes Nightwing, but on the Justice Society Earth, he still Robin, but looks a little bit more like Batman. All right, here, there it's propaganda for United Nations. So there, man, thy name is brother. United Nations has just done so many wonderful things for our world. 58. We don't have any wars anymore. That's one thing that's great. Okay, here's 61. I like that. They're mixed up with their villains. All right. Now, Justice League of America 63. I was staring at this because my first glance at his head makes me think this is a Wally Wood illustration. I don't think it is, but there's something a little bit Wally Woodish about his head. There's something about an Aquavelva man. There's something about his head that reminds me of Wally Wood. 65. Justice League of America, moving forward. Always moving forward to a communist utopia. Because they're progressive. They're moving forward to a wonderful utopia where we won't rely on fossil fuels. And we'll make the damn gasoline so expensive they'll all buy electric cars. What fuels the electric cars? Electricity, and where do they get the electricity? Oh, from coal, from mining for coal. Does that hurt the environment? Oh, yeah, well, we'll just have the coal mined in China because their environment doesn't matter. Well, doesn't the environment, if they fuck up the environment in China, does it affect us here? Or is only the United States the only polluter? I don't know. Something to think about. Special initiation issue. The super struggles of Green Arrow, Atom, and Hawkman to win membership in the JLA. Number 75. Now do you admit I can take Wonder Woman's place? Oh boy. Oh boy, it's summer again. Sure is. See the floating heads? You see Dr. Midnight, you see the original Flash. It's fun time in the Justice League of America. And then the 1971 horror explosion hit, and horror took over even the superhero comics. You got a comic cover that almost looks like it's House of Mystery or House of Secrets or Ghost. Damn, this is so wonderful. Unbelievably cool. Flash is dead, of course, because Flash is always dying. Which of us will be next? The most dyingest guy in the world. Okay, we're getting towards the end of what I consider to be the Silver Age. This is the last gasp of the Silver Age. This desperate attempt, well, just raise the price to 25 cents and give them extra pages. No, Marvel's only raising it to 20 cents. Well, it didn't take long before they went back to a normal page count and reduced the price to 20 cents, at which point I consider the Bronze Age to have begun. Kazaar. You say Kazaar, and I say Kazaar. I don't know. I always called him Kazaar. I'm not going to be able to change one of the earliest of the, probably the earliest Marvel hero, because he goes back to the pulps. Okay, here's Kazaar, co-starring Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man appears to help. Okay, not only are you can tell they're having trouble selling the comic because they had to put a purple cover on it, which attracts the kids' attention, and Spider-Man. Kid Colt Outlaw, number 118. Here's 119. The good guys would shoot the guns out of people's hands. Lone Ranger would do that. Here's 120. Action, action, action. Give me just one evening and I'll teach you how to hypnotize easily. You ever read these ads? Hypnotize others quickly, easily. Perform hypnotic feats with ease. Amaze friends, demonstrate your power to hypnotize. So you can do this in your math class. Yes, it's true. You can hypnotize easily, so quickly and simply you'll be amazed. And it doesn't take special talents or long months of study. The very first day you receive this miracle guide to hypnotism, you'll be able to perform wonders that will astound everyone. It's that simple, when you know how. Imagine the thrill of being able to demonstrate your hypnotic powers. You'll be the center of attraction at parties or work. You'll be able to perform and entertain with feats that have baffled millions for years, and you'll do these wonders with ease. For hypnotism is no longer a secret miracle of science, but a power anyone with reasonable intelligence can use when you know how. You can perform hypnotic feats. First, you must understand that what another person does with hypnotism, you can also learn to do. A person who has learned to hypnotize may make people cry, laugh, shout, stop smoking, recall childhood memories, get folks to sing, dance, do many things. And the most amazing thing of all is how easy it is to do. So you can make the bully that's bothering you in math class cry, and you can make girls go out with you. That's what that's what they're really supposed to be thinking there. Because those are probably the most important things to someone reading Kid Colt Outlaw. Somehow making, the girl notice you or humiliating your enemies. 125. It should just say humiliate your enemies. This guy in the back always, when I used to think, well, is that supposed to be Jack Kirby? Of course it isn't. It's not Jack Kirby. He's looking for people who like to draw. He's looking for people who like to draw naked women on their math, inside their math textbook. Kid Colt Outlaw 126. Boys, men, my secret new Dynaflex method can build you a magnificent new He-Man muscled body in just 10 minutes a day with absolutely no weights, no barbells, no exercise at all. His name is Mike Marvel. So Andrew Tate is just another one in the succession of this. Except boys were encouraged to be boys, but still back in the 60s. Now they're encouraged to be women. And even change their sex. So someone like Andrew Tate comes along and is like a revelation to all these kids growing up without fathers. And now they're trying to squash him. It'll just make him bigger, just like they made Alex Jones bigger. Here's Kid Colt Outlaw number 130. In terrible condition. Here's Kid Colt Outlaw number 133. Here's Kid Colt Outlaw 124. Kid Colt Outlaw 138. Because you demanded it. Kid Colt shoots the works to win a pardon. Is this the end of an outlaw? The Mary Marble Marching Society. That's just wonderful. And see through walls with your man from Uncle's spy pen. Here's Kid Colt Outlaw 147. Polaris nuclear sub. Biden just sent 500 of these to the Ukraine, to Zelensky, and they're only $6.98 each. He took $40 billion from your tax dollars and sent $47 subs to him, and kept the rest of the money, because those hookers and that blow or that crack are very expensive. For his son, he'd never indulge in that, of course not. Monster-sized monsters. Cole the Conqueror. Another one of Robert E. Howard's great heroes. This series was great, but people don't care about it. Here's the lizard people. Here's Margie, number 36. America's Glamour Girl. This comic book belonged to an Irish girl named Marilyn Kelly. And she had a crush on a guy named Clint. Clint. Actually, his name was Clint Lynch. So she's completely defaced the cover in her amorous thoughts for Clint Lynch. If you're really bored, you can look up Clint Lynch and probably find his obituary, or Marilyn Kelly. Maybe they're on Facebook. Well, I don't know. This is from the mid-50s. She was 12 years old. Yeah. Anyway, call her up. Why'd you write over all over the face on the comic? I was going to send to CGC. Did you marry Clint? You better have married Clint, man. You ruined my comic book. Comics all have a history, you know, these comics, unless you bought them straight off the rack on Wednesday of last week, in which case, like, what's wrong with you? They all have a history, unless you bought them, you know, fresh. And it's like, you ever wonder who were the people that had the comic before? Like, this one here was kept in pretty good shape by whatever person. I must have bought this half price. It was marked $28. I think I bought it for $14, I guess. I forget what the red dot means at Duncanville Books, but it's issue 1, and it reprints in it. This is just an amazing bargain. It's number 1 from 1965. It reprints Fantastic Four number 2 from 1961. It reprints Amazing Spider-Man 3, Tales to Astonish. Can't read that number. with Ant-Man and Journey into Mystery number whatever that is. Very first story which made Tales of Asgard. That's what's a Tales of Asgard story. Remember Ant-Man? Thousands of you do, judging by the countless requests for this now out-of-print classic. Out of print, like it's a novel. I'm starting to get hungry for dinner. I don't know about you folks. Here's number 2 from 1966. Now this one was not in as good a shape. This one reprints Fantastic Four 3, where they're the first one where they're wearing costumes, and Sandman, Tales to Astonish, complete, unabridged, thrilling. So Fantastic Four 3, Spider-Man 4, Tales to Astonish 37. Oh, and then I have a better copy of it. This is really one of the greatest bargains you can get because it's reprints, but it's still Silver Age, and it's still, you're reading it, you still feel like you're kind of reading the real thing because it's just a couple years later. And here's number 3. Tales of Suspense 40, Fantastic Four 4, and you got Hulk 3, and you got Tales of the Watcher from Tales of Suspense 49, and it looks like the first appearance of Doctor Strange. Incredible. Astounding, amazing. An hour 36 into it. All right, let me get that other box I brought down. Then we'll probably wrap up. If we get to finish that box, we'll just wrap up early today. Oh, shit. I knocked over a human skull. Ugh. Son of a bitch. Also I knocked over this skull and some sage. I forget who gave us that sage. They said, make sure you burn the sage when you get to your new house. I think it's some Native American trick. It's supposed to banish evil ghosts or whatever. We never did it. Here's Marvel Collector's Item Classics 4. With all these great, wonderful stories in it. 5. When Lone Star Comics first opened, my local comic store in 1977, these are some of the first things that I was buying because I wanted to have those early Fantastic Four stories and all these. So I would buy these because they were affordable. I mean, I couldn't afford the originals as a little kid. I'd make some money mowing the lawn or washing and waxing the station wagon, and I'd get some money and I'd go to Lone Star Comics. I'd have someone give me a ride there, and then later I just started walking there, even though it was miles and miles away. And not really the best neighborhood. Amber Hagerman was kidnapped from a parking lot right across the street from where Lone Star Comics was. And, the Amber Alert is named after her because, they started that alert to try to catch bad guys not long after that happened. I don't know if they ever caught the guy that kidnapped her. That's 9. Here's 10. And I actually have that issue. And it looks like I'm missing issue 11. So that's something I need to look for. Here's 12. Here's 13. This one's in pretty good shape. I think that all the speculating idiots are getting excited about the Molecule Man because he's playing a big role in some big new event at Marvel Comics that idiots care about. So Miracle Man comic, Molecule Man rather, comics are going to start going up in value. I believe that to be true. Here's 15, the Hate Monger. $16. Another copy of 16. Roman soldiers. How about that? Here's 17. Someday people will discover these and the value will start going up with them, because if you really care about these stories, it seems like you'd want these comics. Here's 19. Here's a reprint of the X-Men Team Up issue. Turn 21. Yeah, this is the copy I got back then at Lone Star Comics, because see, what I was telling you, see how they wrote V, right? See 21 right next to the 1, it says VG. This is very good condition. So they were the kids that worked at Lone Star Comics were taught, write the condition once you graded it on the comic. Here's 22. Now you can finish high school at home. You're obviously a dope and didn't finish high school if you're reading this. Okay, I don't have issue 23. Que lástima. Let's see, 24. $25. See, it's not just Fantastic Four. They also have Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Captain America. So later, it would stop being a giant size 25-cent book, and when it went to 20 cents, it was only a Fantastic Four story. You didn't get the extra guys in it. See, this one, if you look next to the 26, they've labeled it good. I should open up a company to CGC. You send me your comic book, I'll write with pencil what condition it is, and then I'll put it in an old 1980s My Light bag, and I'll send it back to you. And I'll charge you $30 and I won't take a year. I'll only take 6 months to write in pencil the condition on the cover. What do you think? I think it would do well. It would be CG. I'll call it GGC. Gratu Grading Comics. Gratu Grading Comics. GGC. So send me all your comics. I'll hold on to them for 6 months, and I'll send them back to you written on in a cheap My Light bag. 27. Oh, it's got a does it have condition written on it? No. How about that? 27. We're getting through these boxes pretty quick. Ooh, a date. I've got another copy. April 1st, 1970. I was just about to be 5 years old. April 20th, 1970, I would be 5. 27. 28. Here's 29. Another copy of 29. And when I have doubles, it's because I forgot I owned it. It's usually that's the case. 30. To save you, why must I kill you? 32. It's such a shame that you know the Fantastic Four movies, they're going to fuck it up somehow. It's such a shame. I just wish we could get a great Fantastic Four movie. 33. Here's Marvel Superheroes featuring Captain Marvel. First appearance of the Marvel Captain Marvel. That's a parody of the Beach Boys in the other room, but I'm afraid that YouTube will think I'm playing the real song. Yeah, it's a parody called I Wish We All Could Leave California Now, about how terrible California is, and it's supposed to sound like the Beach Boys, but you know how YouTube is. If you're playing copywritten material. 32. I already showed you all these. Anyway. I don't know. What is this worth now? I guess I could look it up. This is Marvel Superheroes 14 with a date stamp of February 8th, 1968. There's another one without a date stamp. This is a tremendous cover. Marvel Superheroes, starring the magnificent Medusa. What the fuck? Oh. 16 is Phantom Eagle. Here's the Black Knight, which I guess might have been a hot comic at one time until the Eternals turned out to be terrible. and I think the prices on those Eternals comics dropped greatly. Here's another copy of 17. Here's I have backing boards in these books. I gotta take care. You gotta get backing boards. So 18, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is first Guardians of the Galaxy. Although it's not the Guardians of the Galaxy that normal people know, except for Yondu. Although it's a far cry from what normal people know Yondu to be in the movies. And when I say normal, that implies that we're abnormal, and yes, that's correct. But I think we are we're pretty abnormal. And not that normal is a good thing, man. I don't think so. Marvel Superheroes presents Kazaar. Someone tried to sell it for 10 cents once. Here's another one. The same one. Then I don't have 20 and 21 of Marvel Superheroes, but here's 22. So we're in the M's. We're halfway through with my Silver Age collection of Marvel and DC Comics. 23. See, Marvel Superheroes is reprinting X-Men and Daredevil. And Marvel Tales will be coming up soon. Although we're probably going to run out of tape here before we... low battery. We have a low battery, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Marvel Superheroes 24. Here's Marvel Superheroes 25 with Submariner. It's been given a mustache by some little kid. Here's 26. I don't have 27. So if you have an extra 27, let me know. Here's 28. Okay, some kid at a garage sale scratched the price out, I guess, on this other copy I've got. 28. Here's 29. I don't have 30. Here's 31. Let's see. Kensington, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at night. Some website called Hood Time just posted that, and I just flashed up at the top of my screen. I follow some of these people that just go around and videotape horrible things going on in the country. I don't know why I put myself through watching it. This is Metal Men number 2. It's depressing, but like Captain Strangelove was saying earlier today in his video, it's like we send 40, 50 billion off to other countries, and we've got all this problem with fentanyl being shipped up from China through the border with Mexico, and it's a weapon being used against us. And all these people, it's like the #1 killer right now, and you don't hear about it hardly at all. But we're under assault. All these people, and it's being used by people, and then it's being mixed in with other things that people use, and people are using it unwittingly, and it's killing them. It's horrible. The homeless problems we have, and all these. And I'm seeing in the Nextdoor app from where I used to live, it's just every day people knocking on windows, looking through people's windows, trying their doorknobs, stealing their cars, crash. It's like horrible what's going on back there in Texas. Here's 17. Metal Men is one of the most wonderful comics in the history of the world. This is one of those comics that Dr. Silver Age loves, and I completely share his love for. I wish I had a complete set. I've got reprints, you know, those books that reprint them, but you don't have the old ads and all the cool stuff, and it doesn't smell like an old book, and it's just not the same. See, sometimes you can get these books real cheap, like $3.50 wherever I bought this, because people don't appreciate it, because it's not X-Men, you know. 19. So just hope that they don't do any speculating that they're turning Metal Men into a movie, because then it'll make it really hard to get them. 21. Let me finish this box and then I'll just shut off this show. 22. Shit. Another copy of 22. I don't know if that fucking music has got copyright on it in the other room. Shit. Ugh. All right. Okay. This is 33. Metal Men. Is that 33? 23. 24. 26. Purple cover. This is all I want is these old 60s and 50s, if I can afford 50s comics, and early 70s. I don't give a shit about in anything else. This is the time period for me, and I got like 1 million copies of this